Thank you.
Hello. Okay, so let's go and try to talk about comparatives in English. Okay, so we start with these examples just one by one. And we see all the various cases that we find out when we're talking about comparatives.
2.40.
Wait, because I think I didn't share the sound. Okay, now I do.
2.40. 1.
My brother's older than me.
It's more dangerous to cycle than to drive.
Okay, so what we do in this first example, when we have to compare, we can compare two people, two things, two places, or two actions. And we can compare adjectives or adverbs for action. Okay, so this is usually what we do. We put ER at the end of the, for example, in this case, of the adjective, and then than. That is just the little comparison word that is connecting the two things we put in a comparison. This is what we usually do with regular comparative. Of course, they are irregular comparatives, but not just irregular comparatives. We got also longer comparatives, because usually if they are more than the words are composed by more than 2 syllables, we put more at the beginning instead of ER at the end. So dangerous, for example, is quite long. So instead of, we can't say dangerous, it's too difficult to get. So we say it's more dangerous than. Okay, this is the normal. And this is made with adjective. Let's see here.
2.
People walk more quickly than in the past.
The same thing, we can do it with the adverbs for action. So the adverbs, I remind you, is that word that is showing you the way in which we do something. For example, quickly, in a quick way. Quickly is the adverb. Okay, so quick is the adjective, quickly the adverb. People walk more quickly than in the past. Now, remember that the syllable division in English is completely different from Italian. So in Italian, we usually put 2 or 3 letters together, the precise rule, and we divide them. In English, no, we don't do this, because we divide by sound, and it's a very, very complex way. So you can find a very short word that has 2 syllables. And at the same time, you can find out a long word that has got just 1 syllable, because the sound is unique. So it's not possible to know. Just remember that with short words, usually we put ER, and with longer word, usually we put more at the beginning, or less if it's, the comparison is negative. So, for example, in the number 3.
3.
I'm less relaxed this year than I was last year.
Okay, so less relaxed is like more. I mean, the rule is the same. Less relaxed this year than, always than, I was last year. So here we are just comparing 2 states. Okay, 2 states. I'm less relaxed. I could say I'm more relaxed this year than I was last year. The same rule. Okay, and then number 4 with S. This is what in Italian we could call probably comparativo di uguaglianza. the same
Tanto
as.
quanto.
Tanto quanto. As, adjective, as.
4.
The service in this restaurant isn't as good as it was.
She doesn't drive as fast as her brother.
Okay, as, adjective, as, or adverb, of course, the same. So this is quite easy. We add the regular way. So, for example, with short, shorter, one syllable, we add er. Big. Here we have the first exception, because when we add at the end of the word one vowel like I and one consonant at the end, we have to double the final consonant just to let you pronounce it better, because I can't say bigger, bigger, okay, bigger. So but it's the same rule that we always use even with other structure. For example, present continuous sometimes, or some plurals. And then if you have at the end of the word a consonant and a Y, we just cut it, the Y, and we add IER. Okay, like busy, busier. Relaxed, more syllable, two or more, we put more relaxed. Okay, this is the general rule. And then we also have some irregular plural, because those, despite the fact that they had the spelling rules, they were regular. Okay, the regular with spelling rules. The irregular, they don't follow any rules. They are just to learn as they are. For example, we have good, and we don't say gooder, but we say better. Bad is worse, and far is farther. Sometimes in American English, you can find the spelling with A instead of U, but it's always farther. The same with the adverbs: quickly, more quickly, slowly, more slowly. Usually the adverbs, you always add more, because usually the adverbs are longer, more than one syllable. And then we have some irregular as well that are for adverb: hard, harder, that is normal. Well is becoming better. Well, better, like good. You see, they got the same. Badly, worse, because it is taken from bad. Okay. And then we have after comparative plus than or as plus as, we use an object pronoun, me, her, etc., or a subject pronoun plus the auxiliary verb, because after the subject pronouns, we can't close the sentence. This is just the example. I mean, it seems difficult, but if you read the example, is complete, is very, very easy. Annalisa, can you read these two examples?
My brother's taller than me. My brother's taller than I am. Okay. Me. My brother's taller than me.
Yeah, it's the same. It's completely the same.
The same.
So this is object pronoun. This is subject pronoun. But after the subject pronoun, you have to put a verb.
Okay.
Always. With the object pronoun, you can put the full stop. Okay.
He's not as intelligent as her. He's not as intelligent as she is.
Okay, the same.
Okay.
Completely the same. Okay, now let's try to sometimes this more and this er, there are some words that you can use them both. And we are going to say it. Okay, now use this a comparative adjective or adverb plus than. New York is more expensive than Miami. Okay. Okay, Annalisa, start with number 1.
Modern computers are much faster than the early ones.
Yes, modern computer, I put the correction as well, so you can see the spelling. Because sometimes the spelling is different. So modern computers are much faster than the early ones.
Okay.
Okay, so we have here, we can put it this here just to have the word within brackets that is interesting me. So Anna, number 2.
My sister is
You got tall.
taller
Yes.
than me.
Yes, perfect. Taller than me. Here you could even say my sister is taller than I am. Okay, the same
Yes.
completely. Taller than me is much more common. Okay, number 3, Annalisa.
I'm busier this week than last week.
Yes, I'm busier
Busier
this week than last
than
week. Okay, Anna, here the word is far.
Dunque, Newcastle is
Be careful with the pronunciation, because here is Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yes, forget the T.
Newcastle is further from London than Leeds.
Yes, it's farther. Open it.
Farther.
I know that is written with a U, but it's farther from London than
Leeds.
Perfect. Okay, number 5. The word is bad.
I thought, come si legge?
I thought.
I thought the Third Man in Black film was worse than the first 2.
Yes, worse than. Perfect. Okay, Anna, number 6 is good.
Dunque, good. Allora, Manchester United played better.
Yes.
Better than Arsenal.
That's very good. Manchester United, there are 2 teams, 2 football teams. So Manchester United played better than Arsenal. Good. Number 7, hard is the word.
The French exam was harder than the German.
Yes, was harder than the German. Yes. Then you got boring, Anna, 8.
Allora, boring. My new job is boring. I know, remember.
Yes. Do you
boring,
think how,
boringer? Yeah. No, boringer.
No, because I think it's long, boring. You say there are more than 1 syllable, so more than 2 actually. So when you don't put er at the end, you put before what? Which word?
More boring?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
My new job.
My new job is more boring than my old one.
Perfect. My new job is more boring than my old one. Perfect. Yes. Now we got big.
My new apartment is bigger than my old one.
Yes, you just put the stress on the double G's. That is perfect. It's bigger than my old one. Yes. And then we got the last is an adverb, Anna, is slowly.
Slowly. Quindi I'm not lazy. I just work. I just work slowlier.
Too long. I think it is too long.
More slowly.
I would put more slowly.
More
than
slowly
you.
than
Yes,
you.
with adverbs, I suggest you to put always or almost always more. Just if the adverbs is very, very short, but usually it's not, they're not. Okay, good. So this was very good. Now let's practice as. Okay.
Mhm.
James is stronger than Clive. Clive isn't as strong as James. Sometimes to have the same adjective, we have to put from positive into negative because James is stronger than Clive. Clive is not as strong as James. Or I would say, if it wasn't any negative, Clive is
Less,
weaker than James. Weaker, okay. But
or less strong.
or less strong than James, yeah. Or weaker, just use the opposite adjective, the same. But in this case, we just practice the SS. Okay, Annie.
Adam is a
Okay, I put it, I don't know, we don't need because it's the same. Okay.
Adam is shorter than Jerry. Jerry isn't as short than Jerry.
No,
As short as Jerry.
yes, as short,
As-
so it's not comparative anymore, it's normal, as short as
Short as
Jerry.
Jerry.
If you want to see the one, okay.
Okay.
We can do it here. Okay, Anna.
Your bed is nice than mine.
Yes.
My bag isn't as nice as mine.
No, as yours.
As yours,
Yes.
excuse me.
Yes. As nice,
as yours. Okay, okay.
Yes, okay.
Tokyo is bigger than London. London isn't as big as London.
That is.
As Tokyo.
Ci sbagliamo.
London. Yes, I know, you're getting confused. But you have to change the two parts. So you start with one and finish with one, and you adjust to interchange.
Tennis is more popular than cricket. Cricket isn't as more popular as tennis.
Without more, is
less popular.
As popular. This is
as popular as giusto. As popular as tennis.
Yes, because when we use as and as, the adjective is not comparative anymore.
Ok, popular. Okay.
Tanto quanto, ma l'aggettivo rimane normale, rimane puro.
Normale.
Yes.
Perfetto.
Okay.
As
Children learn languages faster than adults. Adults don't learn languages as fast as children.
Perfect. Perfect.
I work harder than you. You don't work hard.
No, as
hard as I.
As me. You can say as I do, or as me.
As me.
Yes. You can also say as I do.
As me.
Okay.
England played better than France. France didn't play. France didn't play as good as England.
Yeah, as good as well.
As well.
Actually, because if you say good is the adjective,
And the
here
adjective, well,
is the
well.
way, so it's
Yes.
as well as England. Good. This is not difficult. It's just a matter of practice. So after it, I'm going to send you some exercise to see and try it again. But now we get into superlatives. So if the comparatives are compare two things, two adjectives, two adverbs, here is one on top of the other. Okay, so it's the ha. And here are the examples.
2.43. 1.
It's the dirtiest city in Europe.
It's the most popular holiday destination in the world.
So we're talking about something that is unique in a group. Okay, the dirtiest city in Europe, in all Europe, or the most popular holiday destination in the world. The things that you have to notice very carefully is that when is in a group, we say in. The preposition is in. Be very careful because a lot of Italian people, they make mistakes because they say of. The dirtiest city of Europe. This is wrong. You have to say the dirtiest city in Europe, okay? So this is the first thing that we are going to notice. And then the second example.
2.
It's the most beautiful city I've ever been to.
It's the best film I've seen this year.
So very, very often we use the superlative with the present perfect plus ever. Have you ever been to London? Yeah, it's the same. This is probably the present perfect in your here. But usually the answer is giving you, this is the top I've done up to now. So it's the best film I've seen this year. So very, very often we use the present perfect and ever after a superlative. But how do we form the superlative? First of all, you notice that we put the definite article, always the definite article in front before starting the adjective or whatever, because is one. The superlative is just one. So we use the article the. Then at the end, usually instead of er for the comparative, we put est when is regular. Instead of more, we say the most. Okay, the most. Of course, what is irregular in the comparative is still irregular in the superlative with other words, of course. Let's see them. So we have this regular: cold, colder, the coldest. Hot, hotter, we double the T, and we still double the T, but we put est, the hottest, the hottest. Pretty, we cut the Y and we put IER, and here we cut the Y and we put IEST. So pretty, prettier, the prettiest. Beautiful, more beautiful, the most beautiful. And what was, as I told you now, irregular is still irregular. So good, better, and now is the best.
Best.
Bad, worse, the worst. Far, farther, the farthest. And of course, the word than disappear completely because we don't make any comparison anymore. Okay, so we just cancel. This is the what you have to know about the superlative. Let's try to practice them. So First one, is this the biggest city in the world? Be careful if the sentence is
Superlative.
we got interrogative. No, we don't have any interrogative. What do you say, Anna?
No, no.
Ah, okay.
I?
Yes, okay. So here is polite, the word.
Polite. Allora, these are the politest people I have ever met.
So you say politest. That is not bad, but polite.
The most.
The most polite.
The most polite.
Yeah. Thais are the most polite people
Polite.
I've ever met. Okay.
Okay.
Anna, you there? Is it okay, Anna? Because
yes,
I see you
they-
bottom.
We don't say the word.
Oh, yes, sorry. It's hot.
Okay. Yesterday was
Article.
hot.
The article. Yes.
Hottest, hai detto?
Yes, hot, yes, hottest.
Hottest was the hottest day of the year.
This is of the year, but it's not in a group because
Okay.
the year is something, so it's not in a group. Yesterday was the hottest day of the year. Okay. And then we got bad.
This is the worst time to drive to the city.
This is the worst time to drive to the city. Anna, number 4 is friendly.
Friendly.
Friendly, yeah.
She's the most friendly girl at school.
Very good. Or friendliest. So this is one of these cases that you can use one or the other. Because actually the most friendly is much more common. But you can also use the friendliest. But not a lot of people, they use friendliest, believe me. Okay, yes. Okay, important. This is longer.
This is the most important part of the exam.
Exactly. Okay, then we got good, Anna.
Dunque, good era allora the best.
Brava.
The best time to visit New England is autumn.
Yes,
autumn.
best time to visit New England is autumn. Then we have polluted. Polluted.
Inquinato?
Yes, inquinato.
Ulaanbaatar is one. Huh?
Ulaanbaatar. Ulaanbaatar.
Ulaanbaatar
Mongolia.
Is one of the most polluted city in the world.
One of the most polluted cities in the world, yes. And then we got far.
This is
far.
Far. Far. Allora, the furthest.
Yes.
I've ever flown is to Bali.
You see, this is the farthest.
The fastest.
Yes, yeah, farthest.
Proprio, the
No,
fastest.
it's okay.
The fastest.
Farthest.
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 Yes, I've ever flown is to Bali. This is a kind of sentence you probably don't get immediately because it's a building, it's British building. When we start with this superlative, in Italian we do it very often, but in a different way, because we say il luogo più lontano dove io sia mai stato è Bali. In English, you can just not to say the place, but just the farthest, il più lontano dove io sia mai stato, dove io abbia mai volato, in questo caso, è Bali, ok?
Bali, sì.
È un modo di dire molto, è una costruzione proprio inglese, partire dal superlativo per esprimere una cosa che noi abbiamo fatto. The farthest I've ever flown is to Bali. Then 9, and was funny.
That's the film Italy.
Definitely.
The funniest film I have ever seen, or the most funny.
I would say the funniest. The funniest. Okay. Yeah. That's definitely the funniest film I've ever seen. And last one is pretty, Anna, pretty.
Pretty, allora. Pretty. Rob's daughters are all... C'è una cosa che... but
sorry.
I think Emily is prettier.
Superlative.
The
Prettiest.
The prettiest.
Yes. Rob daughters, le figlie di Rob, are all pretty, but I think Emily is the prettiest.
Prettiest.
Okay. Because I want to show you a video. I don't found it at the moment. Okay, we found it. Let's go to, okay, this one. Now we have to practice this present perfect that I was mentioning to you before with ever. So, it's a good film, I see. It's the best film I've ever seen. Okay? Annalisa, okay,
Allora.
I give you both.
Allora, it's the hottest country I have ever been to.
Yeah, it's the hottest country I've ever been to. Yes. Brava. Anna.
Allora, she
Verb to be.
Quindi she,
don't forget the be, the verb to be. She is, yes, she is.
Scusami, she is the unfriendly.
Superlative.
Unfriendliest.
Not too long.
No?
Yeah.
Best.
The best.
The
yes.
best friendly person I've ever met.
I've ever met. Because it's the past participle of the verb, okay? So she's the most unfriendly. For friendly, we can say friendlier, but we can say, here we have other two letters, UN, unfriendly. So it's becoming too long. So we have, of course, we have to put most. She's the most unfriendly person I've ever met. Participle. Okay, yes. Number 3.
It is the easiest exam I have.
It's not I, this time he.
He has ever did.
No,
No?
done.
Ah,
do
done,
is
giusto.
the
Giusto,
third voice.
giusto.
It's the easiest exam he's ever done.
Done.
Okay, number 4, Anna.
Allora, they are,
Yes.
they are.
Yes.
They are the most expensive trousers I ever buy.
Yeah, buy a
both.
present. Both, brava.
Both.
They're the most expensive trousers I've ever bought. Yeah, very good.
Okay.
It is the longest film I have ever watched.
It's the longest film I've ever watched. 6.
He's the most attractive man
Yes.
I've ever seen.
Seen. Yes, good, perfect. It's the most attractive man I've ever seen.
It is the worst meal I have ever eaten. Com'era?
Eaten.
Eaten.
Yes, eaten. It's the worst meal I've ever eaten. Eat, ate, eaten.
Eat, ate, eaten.
Yeah.
Allora, he is the most interesting teacher I haven't.
No, I have
ever.
Past participle of have.
Okay, had.
Had,
No,
sì,
had.
sì, sì, perfetto. It's the most interesting teacher I've ever had. And number 9.
It is the most exciting job. Exciting job we have ever done.
It's the most exciting job we have ever done. Sorry, I have to put the plug in. Okay. Was unplugged until now. Okay, and now I want to do, I'm looking for this video. Compare. No. Let me see here. Because I got a very nice video that is so well explanatory. Okay, maybe here. No, where is it? I've just done it, but I don't remember. Okay, probably here. Okay, found it. It's called comparatives. Why I couldn't find it? I don't know. Okay. So I show you a short video that is just doing a recap of all the things we have studied up to now, and then I'm going to send it to you. This one. Okay, do you see it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
You're faster than me at juggling.
Yes, I'm faster than you. And I'm better than you at tricks.
Yes, but I'm more surprising than you.
Fast. Faster.
This is Jack and this is Mike. Jack is short and Mike is tall. Jack is shorter than Mike. Mike is taller than Jack. We often need to compare different things and people. And to do this, we use comparative adjectives. For example, smaller, bigger, taller, shorter. If the adjective has only one syllable, we make its comparative form by adding the suffix er, short, shorter. And if the adjective has a short vowel and a consonant at the end, we need to double the consonant, big, bigger. More examples: small, smaller, tall, taller, old, older, hot, hotter. Jack is quite sociable. Mike is very sociable. So Mike is more sociable than Jack. If it's a two and more syllable adjective, we need to add the word more before the adjective. Sociable, more sociable. Repeat after me. More sociable. More interesting.
More social.
More boring.
More boring.
The opposite of the word more is less. Less sociable. Less interesting. Less boring. Jack is shorter than Mike. Mike is more sociable than Jack. So we use the word than when we compare things and people. There are some special cases related to the use of comparative adjectives. If it's a two and more syllable adjective ending in y, you can make its comparative form by changing y into I and adding the suffix er. Easy, easier. Easy, easier. Lazy, lazier. Happy, happier. Funny, funnier. But there is another way. You can also make the comparative form of adjectives ending in y with the help of more. More easy. So there are two ways. More easy, more lazy, more happy, more funny. Jack is a good speaker. Mike is not a very good speaker. Jack is a better speaker than Mike. Some adjectives have irregular forms. Good, better. Bad, worse. Far, further, or farther. For example, Paris is further from here than Berlin. Today the weather is better. My car is worse than Jack's. Mike and Kate are 25 years old. Jack is 40. So Mike is as young as Kate. And Jack is not as young as Mike and Kate. To make an equal comparison, we use the formula as, adjective as. For example, Mike is as young as Kate, or its negative variant, not as, adjective as. Jack is not as young as Mike and Kate. Mike and Kate are much younger than Jack. However, Jack is much more experienced than Mike and Kate. When we talk about big differences, we use the words much, a lot, far before the comparative.
Okay, this part I'm going to show you anyway, but it's the last part of the grammar that today we are not made, but I'm going to show you anyway this part of the video, and I'm sending to you the whole video.
For
as
example, Kate and Mike are much younger than Jack. Kate and Mike are a lot younger than Jack. Kate and Mike are far younger than Jack. And one more example with a long adjective, more than 2 syllables. Jack is much more experienced than Mike and Kate. Jack is a lot more experienced than Mike and Kate. Jack is far more experienced than Mike and Kate. When we talk about small differences, we use the words a little bit, slightly, plus the comparative. For example, John is a little younger than Mike. John is a bit younger than Mike. John is slightly younger than Mike. And one more example with a long adjective. Jack is a bit more experienced than Mike and Kate. Jack is a little bit more experienced than Mike and Kate. Jack is slightly more experienced than Mike
and Kate. Okay, so you see, this is the last part of the grammar. We can watch it. That is here. I'm going to share it with you again, the book. Because we are doing this next time. So next time we are going to add too much, too many, too, and enough. Because they are all quantifiers that we can use much clearly if we know very well the comparatives and the superlatives. Now let's do a bit of vocabulary skills. Just note this one. Animals. Let's get into animals today. They are not just cat and dogs, but some more skills on animals. So let's see if you know them just by watching. Okay. Number 1, what is this?
Bull.
It's a bull. It's a bull.
It's a bull.
Then number 2. Last Halloween should have taught you. Yeah.
Bat.
Bat. Bat.
Bat.
Bat. Number 3.
Giraffe.
Giraffe. Yes, it's a giraffe. Number 4. What do you say?
Elephant.
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 Number 5.
Whale.
It's a whale. It's a whale. Actually, I think this is a killer whale. Probably because it's this. I'm not sure, but I think it's a whale. Anyway, number 6.
Il colmo, coniglio non ce lo ricordiamo. Rabbit.
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 7.
Sheep.
Sheep.
So remember, sheep is one of those words without plural. So 1 sheep, 2 sheep, 3 sheep, 4 sheep, and so on. Okay. Some animals, they have like even deer, il cervo, deer, 1 deer, 2 deer. So, okay, what is this horrible
Mosquito.
Mosquito, yes.
Mosquito. Lion.
Lion.
Questo non me la ricordo, I don't remember.
Goat.
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 Tiger.
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 Camel.
Camel.
Camel. Yes.
Camel.
Crocodile.
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 Beautiful.
No.
Butterfly.
No,
Butterfly.
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 Dolphin.
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 Collaccini.
Yes, yes, yes.
Cr-
Remember, yes, cow.
Cowboy.
Cowboy. Yeah.
Cow.
Yeah.
Snake.
Yes.
Snake.
Your daughters. Monkeys.
Monkeys.
Monkey.
Monkey.
19.
Bear.
Bear. Bear.
Bee.
Bee. Yes.
Mm. No.
So we can use two words because in general we can say chicken. And if it's the one that is laying eggs, we call it an hen. Hen.
Hen.
Mhm.
A chicken. It's
Chicken
okay.
egg.
Chicken.
Yeah, okay, but
Okay.
it's generic, you know, not male or female. It's just
Okay.
generic.
Questa è la medusa, non me lo ricordo.
Jellyfish.
Yes, jellyfish. Horse.
Okay.
Mouse.
Mouse.
You remember the plural of mouse is irregular?
Moose.
Mice.
Mice.
Mice. Yes.
Mice. Pig.
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 Shark.
Shark. Like the verb fly.
Fly.
Fly. 28. What do you say, Annalisa?
Bird.
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 Yes.
Spider.
Spider.
Kangaroo.
Kangaroo. Yes. Now we are going. Here you see, you got all the words that are, of course, written here. You find in your book. And now we are going to listen to them.
Yellowfish.
Yes.
Monkey. Lion.
4.17. Animals. 20.
Bee.
14.
Butterfly.
27.
Fly.
8.
Mosquito.
29.
Spider.
1. Bull. 21. Chicken. 16. Cow. 10. Goat. 23. Horse. 25. Pig. 7. Sheep. 2.
Bat.
19.
Bear.
28.
Bird.
12.
Camel.
13.
Crocodile.
15.
Dolphin.
4.
Elephant.
3.
Giraffe.
22.
Jellyfish.
30.
Kangaroo.
9.
Lion.
18.
Monkey.
24.
Mouse.
6.
Rabbit.
26.
Shark.
17.
Snake.
11.
Tiger.
5.
Whale.
Okay. So there are more than this. And I think I can send you an exercise with various other animals and one that we Oh, we've done this summer. Do you remember, Anna, with the parts of the various animal? For example, how do you say the lion? This one, how do you call it? Anna, tu te lo ricordi? La criniera, come dicevamo?
No.
Allora, tante parti degli animali chiaramente sono come le nostre, perché se parliamo occhi, naso, bocca, eccetera, però ci sono delle parti specifiche come appunto la criniera che hanno dei nomi. Vi mando un quizzettino e ve lo fate poi tra di voi, per cui vi mando, oltre questa lezione registrata, anche per le persone che non ci sono, mando il video dei comparatives, ve lo potete mettere lì, buttare, fare quello che vi pare, e alcuni esercizi sui comparatives, però quelli semplici da fare online che vi danno la risposta immediata, e un quizzettino sulle parti, le varie parti degli animali, quelle ci si divertono anche le tue figlie.
Certo.
Prova a fare una gara, prova a farlo te, vedere quanti punti fate, se loro fanno
sicuramente mi stracciano.
Beh, facile. Ok. See you next time. Bye bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Ciao,
Thank you.
ciao, bye bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao Elisabeth, ciao.